start with the unit number 2, and that is coal and ash handling systems and draft systems. Okay. By learning this unit, we will be able to clear our concept about the requirement of coal handling, coal storage, and ash and dust handling systems required for the coal-based power plant. Now, these are the broad content of this unit. Okay, first of all, we will start with the management of fuel, that is coal. Okay, how we will receive the fuel for the power plant, how we will store it, how we will handle it. Okay, then after receiving the coal, how it can be prepared for the burning inside the furnace for a boiler plant. So, what kind of burning systems are available to us? Okay, that is what we are going to see. Okay, the stalker firing, and there are pulverized type fuel firing systems. Okay, this is what we are going to see, and we all know we receive the coal in different or improper sizes, so we need to make this coal size proper for the combustion. So for the grinding purpose, basically we are having some kind of pulverizing mills to convert this coal into a powder form or in a small particles. Okay, the size required for the furnace. So different kind of pulverizing mills are there. We are going to learn this working and construction of these pulverizing mills. Then the types of burners, what kind of burner, which kind of burners are there. Okay, how they are being installed depending upon their capacity. This is what we are going to learn. Okay, then after burning, it is the biggest problem to dispose this ash, that is the wastage after the burning of fuel inside the furnace. So what kind of mechanisms are available to manage this ash? Okay, so that it harm the environment by minimum amount. Okay, then with this ash we are having the dust also. Okay, so to how to dispose the dust, that is also we are going to learn. Okay, at the end of the unit we are having the draft system. Okay, the fuel is being burned, the heat is being generated. Now we need some efficient system to free these exhaust gases in the atmosphere. Okay, efficiently and with the minimum amount of say environmental impacts. So for that, what kind of mechanisms are available? Okay, we know the most important element is the chimney. Okay, so what should be the height of chimney for the temperature and pressure and the flow of the flue gases? This is what we are going to decide, and we will solve some problem, basic fundamental problem based on this chimney height. Okay, and the condition of maximum discharge from the chimney. Okay, and there are some types of fans required. Okay, for forced draft and for the induced draft. So the requirement of power to run these fans, okay, for this draft system, that is also we will calculate at the end of the unit. So these are the broad contents of this unit, unit number 2, coal and ash handling system and the draft systems. So let us start with the first part, that is coal handling and storage. Okay, so there is, say, we can say utmost care is to be taken while designing the layout of coal handling, dust handling and ash handling units. Okay, because the routine working of the thermal power plant, it is very much dependent on this coal handling, dust handling and ash handling units. Okay, say if you want to get some idea, see the for the coal based thermal power plant, the coal fired boilers almost, okay, 10 to 15 percentage of the total weight of coal will be collected in form of ash. Okay, that is the residue after the burning. So it is huge amount of, say, ash that is to be handled carefully. Say, as for example, a normal coal-based thermal power plant of 400 megawatt capacity. Okay, This is 400 megawatt capacity power plant. It will require about 5,000 to 6,000 tons of coal per day. Okay, we know that power plant generally works continuously. So to continuously operate this kind of power plant, 400 megawatt capacity power plant, we need 5,000 to 6,000 tons of coal per day. So it is a very big challenge to design this layout of coal handling and dust handling and ash handling units. Say if you go according to this data 10 to 15%, let us take 10%. So if this 5,000 to 10,000 tons coal per day is to be handled for this capacity power plant, what is the amount of ash that will be collected from this plant? Yes. What is the amount of ash that can be collected from this power plant? Yes, anyone?
Sir, same way.
Same way, it is 10%. So you can say 500 to 600 tons per day. Okay. So this is also a huge amount. 10 percentage of this 5,000 to 6,000 coals. Okay. So about 50 to 60 percentage of the coal total operating cost. Okay, we know there are two kind of cost for any system. Same way for the power plant also, fixed cost and operating cost. So around 50 to 60 percentage of this cost is invested in fuel purchasing and handling. That is coal. Okay, so fuel system is designed depending upon the type and the nature of fuel used for the power plant. Okay, so we all know we have a different kind of coal for the coal based power plant, say lignite, anthracite, pit. Okay, there are so many type of coal. Okay, depending upon their grade. Okay, there will be some ash content, there will be some carbon content, and by studying this parameter, okay, we can design the coal handling system. So this is the layout for a coal handling system. Okay, so it is not possible for me to make it in a continuous flow. So I have divided this flow chart in two parts. Okay, so let us start from the fuel first. That is fuel delivery. How we will receive the fuel. Okay, we will receive the fuel with the help of there are transporting mechanism. Say by sea, if we are receiving the fuel from the different country which is located far away from the plant location, then maybe from river, rail or road. Okay, if the plant is located within the country of coal mine, okay, the most efficient and we can say economical way to transfer this fuel will be the help of railways. Okay, for small capacity of plant, the people are transporting this fuel by road also. Now for loading and unloading, there are cranes and grab buckets. We are going to see the diagram, see the figures, the pictures of these grab buckets, crane and dumpers in the upcoming slides. So first we will receive this fuel, then we will unload it, then we will prepare this coal, okay, for our plant. So for the preparation, there are this kind of elements, this kind of, say, you can say, instruments are being used, okay, to process this coal. Say crushers to break the coal in required size of particles, breakers, dryers. Okay, there will be always some moisture contained in the coal, so we need dryers, sizers and magnetic separator. Okay, the purpose of this magnetic separator is, say, in the coal there will be some iron, okay, ionic particles. So we need to separate out these magnetic particles from the coal. So that is why these magnetic separators are being used. Then this coal is being transferred by the belt conveyors or say screw conveyors or with the help of bucket elevators. Okay, then the outdoor storage, say, to maintain the storage, we use these bulldozers, scrappers, tramways, cranes and buckets. Okay, then we are having the covered storage, say, beans and bunkers. Okay, we need this storage is the most important part to maintain, to handle this coal. Okay, say in plant handling, for the in plant handling we are having the same kind of instrument, belt conveyors, screw conveyors, bucket elevator, gates and valves. Okay, then we will wait, we will measure the amount of coal required for that particular time of operation of the furnace, and depending upon the demand of furnace, okay, we will supply this coal to the furnace firing. Okay, so we'll have the coal meters, scales, samplers. Okay, we will also sample the quality of coal, okay, to just verify the characteristics and properties supplied by the supplier. Okay, so this sometimes we also sample this coal, and then we will fuel it to the furnace firing. So let us start with the fuel delivery. Okay, the transfer of coal. So as you can say, this kind of big cranes, hoist cranes are there. Okay, the coal will be received by the big ships, and it can be transferred with the help of this crane. Inside the crane, within this crane, there are big buckets. Okay, so they will unload these coal from these ships, and for the further transportation, okay, they will put this coal on railways or trucks depending upon the size of the plant and the location of the plant. Okay, if you want to observe this kind of station in our vicinity, Surat, okay, if you go to the that Magdalla bridge, okay, we are having one this kind of facility over there. Okay, so you can observe this. So they will unload the coal from the ships and supply to the another type of transfer mechanism, whether it may be a trucks or it may be a rail. Okay, then the railways are there, this kind of wagons you must have seen. Okay, while say while coming to the college also by road. Okay, nowadays we used to we don't need to cross a railway line. Before some 5 to 6 years, there are always some kind of railway stopping for this kind of long railway wagons. The coal is being transported from different part of the countries, and from the say this kind of sea unloading facilities to the thermal power plant situated at Ukai. Okay, now this is the on-site transportation of the fuel. Say this fuel is being stored, coal is being stored in the large fields. Okay, and these cranes are used to load this coal on trucks, and the truck will carry the fuel to the uh, boiler plant. Okay, this kind of big machineries are called reclamation machinery. Okay, it has a large amount of bucket like cross section, okay, which will pile up the coal on the coal field. So this is coal transfer, something about coal transfer and the storage of the coal. Okay, so you can see in this picture, these are big size of belt conveyors. Okay, in some of the plant, the size of the length of this conveyor in terms of kilometers. Okay, in our vicinity, in say Kosamba, Nani Naroli, we are having one coal-based thermal power plant, the GIPCL. They have the conveyor in the length of 6 to 7 kilometers. Okay, so they will load this coal on this conveyor, and this conveyor will take this coal to the plant. Okay, this is the open storage of the coal. Okay, why we need to store this coal? Okay, there is one primary reason. Say in case of the unavailability of transporting mechanism, okay, and we also want to ensure that our plant will run continuously due to such kind of disturbance. Okay, generally these coal based power plants store the coal which may require which may require to run this plant on the base load capacity for 2 weeks to 3 weeks. Okay, this is the a, say covered facility. So there are big kind of say bunkers like arrangement is there, okay, in which the coal is being stored, okay, to minimize the effect of atmosphere on the coal, okay, to reduce the moisture also in case of rainy condition, okay, and in the open atmosphere there will be also some of the say problem associated with the coal storage, like the self ignition of the coal, okay, change in moisture condition, and say there will be some contamination also due to the dust and all. So this kind of contamination may reduce the efficiency, burning efficiency of the coal, so we need to preserve this coal. So these are some, say you can observe these covers on the coal fields, okay. So this is how you can store the fuel, that is coal, in case of coal based thermal power plant. Okay, so you can see the picture showing the belt conveyors, okay, transferring of the coal with the help of belt. Okay, here you can say for the to avoid the atmospheric effect or say rain, these these conveyor belts are being covered, okay. So this kind of conveyor belt mechanism is known as overhead conveyor mechanism, okay. This is the local storage. From that storage, this coal is being placed on this conveyor and it will be sent to this plant, boiler, fuel firing systems. So this is another picture of a typical coal handling system, okay. So these are all belt conveyors, okay. After different kind of processing, it is being sent to this boiler. See, these are some pictures from the textbook of power plant and engineering technology by G.D. Rai. So this is what the grab bucket will look like. Okay, this is the simple, say, sketch of crane. This is the grab bucket. We will grab the coal and it will transfer wherever is required. This is called the screw conveyor. Okay, suppose this coal is being inserted from this passage, okay, this shaft is driven by electric motor or any kind of prime mover, okay. Then between the passage of this screw, okay, it will move in this direction, okay, it will move in this direction and ultimately it will be discharged at the required place. So this is screw conveyor. See, this is the hoist, okay, bucket conveyor. See, the coal will inserted by this passage. Here you are having the bucket like arrangement, okay. These are the two shaft will be driven by the motor, okay, and it will move like this, okay. And due to the change in direction, the coal will be collected over here, okay, and the empty bucket will move in this direction for the further collection of the coal or fuel. So this is the continuous bucket conveyor. This is the continuous bucket conveyor. It is used to feed the coal continuously. And we have seen the belt conveyor system. This is the cross section of the belt conveyor, the inside of the belt conveyor. Okay. So say this is your belt. Okay. You will be having multiple rollers over here. This roller is to support, and these two rollers, these are the adjustable rollers. We can set the angle of this roller so that this shape is to be maintained. Okay, so these rollers are also once again rotated with the help of chain mechanism or say motor at the specific distances. Okay, then after delivering this coal to the system, the return belt will return from this bottom part. Okay, so it will go like this, it will go like this. So this is the return roller, this is your belt, okay, and these are two supporting rollers. Okay, so this is the cross section of the belt conveyor. Now this is the layout of coal preparation plant. Okay, as we have said, we have delivered the coal is being delivered, then we have transported this coal. Now how to prepare the coal to the plant? So the uncrushed coal is to be inserted in this crusher. Okay, I will show you the sample picture of a crusher. So in crusher, the coal is being crushed. Then here there will be a vibrating separator. It is vibrating in nature when it is being in operation. It will vibrate. Okay, here you can see the cam is there. Cam will rotate in direction, predecided direction with predefined speed. So it will vibrate this system. Okay, so the some unwanted particle will be collected by some mechanism over here, and say if you are having the larger amount of particles of the coal over here, then it will be collected and it will be refeed to the coal crusher. Okay, so this is the belt conveyor. Okay, then these are the silos, or you can say on plant coal storage. Okay, then this is the belt conveyor once again. Okay, this is the chute for the rejection, and this is magnetic pulley for the magnetic separator, and then it will be fed to the boiler plant. So this is the sample figure, as I said, of a crusher. Okay, so these are the different elements. Okay, this is the ring. Okay, or say from here the coal is being fed. Okay, it will be collected over here. These all mechanism is rotating with the help of prime mover, say in some case diesel engine or high capacity electric motor. So when this kind of rotors will come into the contact of this coal, it will be crushed in the fine particle and it will be collected over here, somewhere over here. Okay, so this is what we have seen in today's class. So what we have seen, let us recall. We have seen the fuel delivery. Okay, we have seen the unloading mechanisms. Okay, cranes, grab buckets, also dampers. We have seen the preparation, layouts, magnetic separators, sizers, and crushers, and the transfer mechanism of on side also and the outside also. The bale conveyors, screw conveyors, and bucket elevators. Okay, outdoor storage. We have the cranes, buckets, and bulldozers. Okay, we have also seen the covered storage, that is beams and bunkers. Okay, and in plant handling, just like the outdoor handling, the same kind of instruments are being used: belt conveyors, screw conveyors, bucket elevators, and gates and valves to measure the quantity, right? Quantity, inflow and outflow. Okay, then the weighting and measuring mechanism will be there, and ultimately it will be fired to the furnace.